Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Carried Away Travels. If you are looking for some fun things to do while you are in Nassau, Bahamas, besides the shopping, I'm here to tell you all about Sun Cay on Pearl Island. Now, we visited Nassau on our Carnival Sunshine cruise back in February, and that meant that we got right into the Nassau port when we landed, which, if you've never been there, it is basically a giant shopping center. There are just all these high-end shops, as some random lady on a tram told me in the mini. It's basically the Rodeo Drive of the Bahamas. So if you're into expensive shopping, you may just want to stay in the port. But if you're like me and you're looking for a little more adventure, you want to enjoy that sunshine and the beaches, I highly recommend you take a closer look at Pearl Island and Sun Cay. Now, we actually ended up visiting Sun Cay as part of a combo tour. The part I was mostly interested in was swimming with the pigs on Pigs Beach. That was like the number one thing I wanted to do in the Bahamas. It was fantastic, absolutely worth it. One of the highlights of my life. I do have a full review of that part of the experience with a brief overview of Pearl Island and Sun Cay in a different video, but there was just so much to do on Pearl Island that I felt like it really deserved its own video. Plus, you can visit Pearl Island with a bunch of different other experiences or just enjoy the day resort as is, no other things added. So whether you're going swimming with the pigs or you just want like a private beach to enjoy while you're in Nassau, this video is for you. Hopefully answer all your questions and let you know what to expect. Quick side note, if this is your first time here, I'm Carrie and I share helpful travel tips, itineraries, gear recommendations, and more so you can always have the perfect trip. My goal with every video is to help you completely understand what you are getting into, answer all your questions, especially the ones that are hard to find on the internet in advance, and just help you make educated decisions of whether an experience or an activity, a location, whatever is going to be a good fit for you. So if that sounds like the kind of content you want more of in your feed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you actually know when I post something, and just stay tuned for all my future videos. Now, first up, let's talk about the differences between Pearl Island and Sun Cay. So Pearl Island is an island in the Bahamas about 30 minutes away from Nassau. It is a private island that they have built up into a day resort with lots of different amenities and things to do. Sun Cay, on the other hand, is more of a tour company that partners with Pearl Island to provide experiences based off of the island. So their tours include transportation to Pearl Island, day passes to enjoy it, and then they have additional experiences that you can tack on while you're there. Pearl Island also has a couple experiences you can book directly through them, but there's a much greater variety if you book through Sun Cay. Now that that's cleared up, let's talk about actually getting to Pearl Island. Now, as I mentioned, went on a Carnival cruise, so we booked an excursion directly through Carnival's shore excursions section, and we did the swimming with the pigs, and it included like 2 hours on Pearl Island as well. However, you can 100% book this tour independently or a variety of other Sun Cay experiences just directly through their website if you are going to be there on your own. However, if you are going with a Carnival cruise, I do recommend you book your shore excursions directly through the cruise line. Sometimes it's a little more expensive. In our case, we actually saved a good bit of money by booking directly through Carnival Cruises because they had a discount. So do your research and just keep in mind that if you book directly with Carnival Cruises, as a cruise passenger, you also get that guarantee that if anything happens with the tour, you can get back on the boat, which is just some good peace of mind. Now, once you book your tour, you are going to get instructions on exactly where to meet them at the dock. They will have a ship waiting for you at the dock. Once you get on the boat, the crew is going to take you about 30 minutes away from Nassau to Pearl Island. It is off by itself, so it's got some great privacy, and it is just so beautiful sitting there surrounded by all these blue waters. If you are doing the swimming with pigs excursion, the pig beach is like a 2-minute 2-minute boat ride away. It is right there. You can see it from Pearl Beach, so that's super convenient. But the ride there was just so beautiful, and for me, that was a great part of the journey as well. The crew would point out interesting landmarks and tell us different fun facts about the Bahamas and wildlife and things like that. So they did make that entertaining as well. And on the way back, they pointed out all these houses that rich and famous people lived in. So that was kind of interesting too. Once you arrive at Sun Cay, there is just so much to do. Honestly, I did not feel that the 2 hours that we had was enough time to really enjoy everything because it looks small, but there's just so much packed in here and all these little things that we just ducked in to check out, and it was like, wow, that was really cool. And it all just added up really fast. So we actually didn't really spend hardly any time just chilling on the beach in the 2 hours or so that we were there. But that's part of the reason I wanted to do this vlog today and just kind of let you know what's available so you know in advance where you want to spend your time. So first up, let's talk about the beaches. Pearl Island has 2 beautiful white sand beaches that you can chill out on. They have spaces that are just clear with sand, so you can kind of walk around there. And then they have all sorts of areas with beach chairs, private cabanas you can rent out, all that kind of stuff. And then in the water, they have kayaks and stand-up paddle boards that you can use included on a first come first served basis, plus water trampolines and water mats. So whether you have kids or you're feeling like a kid, you can go out and play on those on the water too. So there's plenty to keep you busy right on the beach. Now, we visited back in February, which isn't really peak season because I know a lot of people travel to the Bahamas during the summer as well, but I will say there were plenty of beach chairs for everyone. Like, we checked out both beaches and we didn't have a problem finding 2 beach loungers next to each other. I also want to point out, if you're worried about spending all day in the sun, they do have a few shaded lounge areas as well that are free. You don't have to pay extra for those. So if you're worried about getting burnt, you might want to try to stake out a few of those right at the beginning. However, if you really want to upgrade your day and ensure you have shade whenever you need it, you can book a private cabana that comes with a lot of perks. Now, the private cabanas start at $180 per adult, which sounds pretty pricey, but that is like your ticket for the day. That's not on top of getting there. Like, that is access to everything on Pearl Island, your meal included, and then transportation there. Plus, you get a private server for the day who will bring you your included meals so you don't have to eat at the restaurant with the plebeians. You get unlimited drinks, that's alcohol, sodas, and water. You have really cushy seating, and it even includes a snorkel tour. So that's actually not a bad deal when you consider the fact that just getting to Sun Cay on like a base package with the meal is like $94 a person. So it's twice as much, but you really do get a lot of perks with it. And speaking of the snorkeling tour, let's talk about some of the different tours and excursions you can book that get you to Pearl Island and then you can enjoy while you're there. So if you're trying to book an excursion directly through Pearl Island, they currently have 2 options. One is a snorkeling tour, which this is a fantastic place to snorkel. There are all sorts of tropical fish around here. Again, this is just right out in the middle of the ocean, so there are some great opportunities to see some beautiful fish and reefs and such while you're out in this area. So that is definitely a great way to spend your day. You can book that as like a package for $119 per adult and up, but that does include access and transportation to the island for the whole day, plus your lunch, a guided tour with all the equipment you need, etc. So that's actually a pretty good deal for like an all-day tour with like a guided snorkeling experience. They also just added their own swimming with pigs experience, which as far as I can understand is the same thing we booked. However, we booked ours through Sun Cay instead of Pearl Island. So that is also an option that starts at like $174 per person, and again includes swimming with the pigs and access to everything on Pearl Island plus a meal. However, if you go to the Sun Cay website, there are a lot of other different tours you can combine with access to Pearl Island for the day. They have scuba diving, which is like snorkeling combined with scuba diving. Then they have parasailing and banana boat rides and jet boat rides. Like, there is a great variety of tours you can tag onto your day at Pearl Island. So if you are looking for something to do besides just lay on the beach and explore the island, like you kind of want to get a little more active, I would highly recommend you check some of these tours out. In addition to those paid tours, there are a couple other things I highly recommend that you check out while you have some free time on the island. The first is the iguana enclosure. This was such a surprise to me because, I mean, who has this, I guess? But there's a little section on the end of the island called Iguana Cay. And if you go in there, they have iguanas and they have workers in there that are trained to handle them and that know just a bunch of fun facts about them so that they can teach you about the iguanas, how they live, what they eat, that kind of thing. And you can actually hold the iguanas, which was insane. Daniel and I both held this big orange iguana. It was fantastic. It was terrifying, but super fun. It was a great moment, right? I absolutely loved it. And that is free to enter. They do have a tip jar, so you can tip the workers for, helping you out there. And also, you can't just go in and like pick up an iguana. Like the handler will help you handle the animal properly. Just to clarify, they are making sure to take good care of the iguanas here as well. But that was just such a fun and unexpected surprise. In addition to that, if lizards aren't your thing, there is a really pretty lighthouse on Pearl Island, and you can climb up the several stories and get just a beautiful view of not only the island, but like the waters all around it. I highly recommend you go up there and check it out. The panoramic view is just so perfect. Like, this is peak Bahamas ocean view right there. So definitely go up there. They do actually have a few little seating areas on each floor. So you can take a drink and go up and just sit in there, or just, chill if you're trying to get out of the sun for a little bit. Either way, set aside some time to go check that out because I thought that was just a fun little touch. Of course, a day in the Bahamas wouldn't be complete without some authentic food, and Pearl Island has that taken care of as well. Most of the passes that you will buy include a traditional Bahamian lunch at the on-site restaurant. For us, that was barbecue chicken, fried fish, peas and rice, and then like a coleslaw salad. And then there was unlimited water. They have drink stations throughout the island just to make sure everyone keeps hydrated. If you're looking for something a little more unique, there's also a conch stand. Daniel got some conch salad from there, and the guy literally pulled the conchs out of the shell in front of us. Someone else brought them to him, like dripping wet, fresh from the ocean. He pulled them out, chopped them up, made this cool salad, and it was huge. Like, it was a ginormous conch salad. Daniel said it was absolutely delicious. I believe it cost like $20, but I mean, there was enough for 2 people in there if I wasn't allergic to shellfish. So that's definitely something to check out if you're interested. It is not included. The other meal is typically included with your day pass. The conch is extra. There are also 2 bars on the island that have alcoholic drinks as well as sodas and some other drink options. So you do have some different choices, but keep in mind, drinks outside of water do have an additional fee unless you book something like the private cabana that has an unlimited drink package. Last but not least, make sure you stop by the little gift shop on the island. This is such a cute little place to find some authentic souvenirs. Pearl Island has a number of sustainability initiatives, including like only hiring locals and selling authentic Bahamian souvenirs. So you can find those at this gift shop. They had everything from like wooden carvings to shot glasses, magnets, bags, just a nice variety of souvenirs to check out. It is easier if you have cash. Just because signal is kind of weak on the island, it can take a little while for them to process a credit card. However, if you didn't bring cash with you, you can definitely use a card. Just be prepared for it to take a minute while it processes. All right, guys, and that is everything you can do on Pearl Island in Nassau, Bahamas. Again, if you are looking to kind of get away from the bustle of the port and really just enjoy like an iconic Bahamian beach experience, you should really check this out. It's so nice. The amenities are great. You just have so much to do right at your fingertips. And again, the fact that you can combine it with so many different tours, to me, that just makes this a no-brainer to spend at least one of your days in the Bahamas. For us, this was our full port day. I have zero regrets. If you have any questions about Pearl Island and Sun Cay that I did not answer, please feel free to drop those down below, and I would be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. I'd also love to hear any comments you have on what you'd like to do first or what sounds the most interesting to you. I love y'all's feedback, so please feel free to share that down below. If you are interested, as always, I have a full written blog post about Pearl Island on my blog at www.cochranewriting.com. I also have all sorts of other experiences from the Bahamas and around the world on YouTube and my blog. So if you're looking to plan a trip, you just want some general travel tips, or you want to learn more about a specific location, I'd encourage you to check all those out and see if anything catches your interest. If you enjoyed this post, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with your friends you'll be visiting the Bahamas with. And if you aren't already subscribed to Carried Away Travels, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I wish you many happy travels.